John, I wanted to finish where we started, which is with Donald Trump, an old friend of yours, and a guy that is extremely polarizing. I think that's probably fair to say. I guess he's probably the most famous person in the world. And at this current time in 25, he's probably the single person that more people love and more people hate in the entire world right now. I think most people would agree with that. And I'm wondering how you can talk to people about how they might process their relationship with Donald.
I do it every week.
Right?
He comes up every week.
He does. He does. Isn't that fascinating, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're an expert at this. And it's interesting because you know him and you've talked to me in the past about, you used to live at Trump Tower and all that. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that background. Talk to me, because he talks about it as Trump derangement syndrome. And there's people out there that probably think about him every hour of every day. And then there's people that adulate him and look at him as their God and Savior and think about him every hour of every day.
Both are fooled.
Right. And there's people in the middle, I guess, but probably fewer people in the middle.
That's the way it is, isn't it?
Right. So talk about this.
You have a dumbbell-shaped curve society or a bell-shaped curve society. When you have a bell-shaped curve society, you have stability. When you have a dumbbell shape, you have revolutions.
Okay. And dumbbell means the weight's on both ends.
Both polarities.
Right. Whereas
highly polarized states of support and challenge.
Okay.
But support and challenge. I want to make a statement here. I want everybody to hear, whoever's listening here, I want you to really think about this. You're only going to grow in life to the level of both praise and reprimand you can handle. So if you can handle this much praise, but only this much reprimand, you're only going to grow to that level.
You're constrained by the one that constrains you.
You're constrained by the one that controls you.
Okay.
Now, I had a guy in South Africa. He had 9 companies and a holding company with 9 subsidiaries. Very young guy. When I first met him, he was around 37. He already had this accumulated. I mean, telephone companies and shipping companies. The guy was just off the charts. Very brilliant guy. Very economically savvy. Was helping redo the economics of the country. And they were nailing him in the media. I mean, television was after him, the newspapers were after him, just nailing this guy. Because the higher you go, the more the hero and villains meet. So you're doing business with what some people will call a villain and a hero, and and you can't get to the top without having people. You have to own both your hero and villain to get to the top.
Peter Thiel took $500,000 and turned it into $1 billion using the exact same techniques we're using inside the investment club. He met a CEO, his name was Zuckerberg. He pitched him the deal and he said, okay, I'll give you $500,000. Mark went public and sold the shares to people like you. Well, what happened to Peter? Well, he exited and got a 2,300x return. The wealthy invest in early stage companies, folks. The public markets are for suckers. It's a rigged game. By the way, this happens in crypto as well. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is Solana. Does anybody know this chain? They sold pre-sale tokens for 4 cents. And you can see the date on there, April 5th, 2018. Look at Solana today, folks. That thing's up over 1,000x. The media and Wall Street and all these hype people get you to buy the top. Meanwhile, they put their clients in at the bottom and they use you for liquidity to make their clients rich. You can play this same game. You just have to have the financial education and the deal flow. That's it.
And so I did what I called column 6 and 13 on him. I said, go to the moment where and when you perceive them really attacking you and falsely accusing you with distorted information and attacking you. You really are angry and hurt by it. Great. Who is distorting and praising you in equal and opposite format at that moment? And we stacked up all the people that were doing that were meaningful. There were fewer people over here, but more influential. And many people over here that he really didn't put a lot of emphasis on. But the total was a balance. And I made him go through each moment he perceived one, where the other was, and centered him. And when he got through, he goes, there's nothing out of order. I said, nope. You were fooled by reading only information and didn't think through to see both sides. Entropy and disorder means missing information. The hidden order is when you see all the information. So I made him ask a question that he'd overlooked and he was unconscious of. Where were the supporters to balance the challengers? And once I balanced them, and we did 79 examples in moments when he was attacked in these few days beforehand, 79 attacks, we went and balanced them all out. And he goes through, he says, I don't even have anxiety right now. I'm not even stressed. I'm actually realizing that I've just been elevated to a new position and that's what my goal was. I said, yeah, you're getting your goal. He goes, this is worth an enormous amount to me because I'm not now distracted by it and it just doesn't have an effect on me. I said, exactly.
Right. The goal was the wealth and the power, and he had earned it by being able to be unemotional.
The goal wasn't that. His goal was to serve vast numbers of people through his country.
Got it. And he could only do that if he could weather both sides.
And he was looking for what were needs in the society, and they needed telecom, and they needed this, and they needed that. And so whatever was needed in this society on a large scale, he was building and putting people together. But you can't get to those levels without having somebody who's in bed with somebody else.
Right. Okay.
And so somebody got a hold and said, well, he's in bed with this person, in not bed literally, but I mean in business with somebody who's considered the bad guy. And so they associated it because they went and attacked him. And that's how this whole thing got out of line. But when he got through, he says, there's nothing out of order. I'm right on track. And I said, exactly. The person who can see the hidden order in the apparent chaos is the master.
Okay.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.